Check this out. A group of women in Arkansas are taking on winter weather in a male-dominated field. A local county in Arkansas deployed an all-female fleet of snowplow operators to clear the roads after the recent storm. The crew says it feels great to make history, but they're hoping the attention their milestone is getting will encourage more women to try and make a living behind the wheel of a plow.
So far, it's been pretty easy going. Like I said, the guys are awesome about supporting us and stuff and all that.
I haven't had any problems with anybody here, considering that. It's a great place to work, and I hope that more people come and join.
That massive snowstorm earlier this week put those women to work. Parts of Arkansas saw as much as a foot of snow. I was just joking with Dana. Let's do it.
Let's give it a try, right?
Snow removal crew?
Yep.
Yeah.
They did let me sit in one of the salt trucks when I went to the Maine Turnpike Authority, which was very cool. I did not ask them if I could drive it because I didn't want that responsibility.
I imagine there's special licensing in place to prevent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Only the experts, and I am no
Leave it to that.
expert.
But sitting in the garage, great spot to sit. Check it out.
Exactly. And a little warmer in there than perhaps it is outside.
For sure.
Not hard to do.
Our current wind chill temperatures, so this takes into account, obviously, our wind and our thermometer temperatures, and therefore a lot of spots across the state have feels like temperatures of below zero. Feels like -4 in Bangor, feels like 0 in Waterville, feels like -2 in Augusta and Lewiston, and in Sanford right now. So we did have a lot of sunshine this afternoon, and we'll have mostly clear skies overnight, which will contribute to some radiational cooling. Therefore, our overnight low temperatures will be very cold once again, dropping down below 0 for most spots. And then tomorrow, I think, is the better of the two weekend days if you want to get out for some outdoor plans, for example, because it will still be cold. High temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s, but warmer when it compared to today, and we'll have a good bit of sunshine in the afternoon. And then Sunday is when things start to change. We've been talking about it all week. It's this very strong nor'easter, but it's going to be far enough offshore that the impacts in Maine end up being pretty minimal. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies during the day. It will still be fairly windy, especially along the coast. And then overnight, areas of down East Maine and some of the immediate coastline may see some snow flurries or some light snow showers. Not expecting too much in terms of accumulations. And then this storm ends up much farther offshore during the day on Monday, gradually clearing in both cloud cover and any precipitation that fell during the day Monday, and then the rest of the week looks fairly calm. So this is what we're expecting in terms of our snowfall forecast, 1 to 3 possible along the very far edges of eastern Maine. Interior down East Maine about a trace to 1 inch, and then the rest of the state not really expecting much snow at all. It will still be windy during the day, though. This storm is very strong. It's just offshore far enough that we don't end up getting really high wind gusts. Along the coast, expected about 30 to 40 miles per hour, inland 20 to 30 miles per hour. Some isolated outages are possible, but not looking at widespread outages. So if we summarize this all together, the snow impact is minimal to none. We do have moderate to high wind gusts, peak wind gusts about 35 to 40 miles per hour. We do, though, have astronomical high tides plus a strong storm offshore, so we might have some minor coastal flooding possible, especially in flood-prone areas, but this storm is not going to have a big impact here in Maine at all. And why is that? The 40-70 mark comes into play. Again, we talk about it sometimes with nor'easters, and if you want a big blockbuster storm in Maine, you want this center of low pressure to be over that 40-70 mark. But look where it is. It's a lot farther south, therefore a lot of those bigger impacts are going to remain offshore, affecting areas like Cape Cod and Nova Scotia more than us here in Maine. Marine forecast sees 2 to 3 feet, water temperature 40 degrees. That gale watch is for Sunday. So during the day tomorrow, we end up with a lot of sunshine, still cold, but warmer than it was today. And then that big storm passes by to our south on Sunday. Inland areas will likely just be mostly cloudy and a bit breezy. Closer to the coast, we'll see some flurries and it will be windier. High temperatures will be in the mid-20s. I think some of that wind will linger, especially during the morning hours on Monday. But Bailey and Brian, it's going to be a big storm for other parts of the United States, but it's not going to be anything that Mainers can't handle.
All right. Dana, thanks so much.